be verbal about. Alright, y'all. So, I just got a reminder of something else. And now, looking back at it, I know that they had to talk to somebody in my fake family in order to, because they were trying to trigger me, all right, into having a reaction. But the people, some more people that y'all need to look into if y'all are not already looking into them. I told y'all about Cleon, Sammons, his friend group. That one weird friend group where it was like 1, 2, 3 dudes and 1 girl. They were all weird. I know that particular group was like in the film industry. All right. There was also a married couple whom he brought up, or I met once. But that particular couple, I think they're in the same group with these people. But this couple, they're married. He had a lot of married friends. But this particular married couple, he was like that the woman and the man, they weren't intimate. Like they didn't have sex in their marriage. All right, so it's giving lavender marriage energy. Okay. I think the male is probably gay and the woman is probably gay too. And they just married just to make it look like, something that it's not. But I already let y'all know that friend group was weird. And a couple of people from that friend group, we all went out and where he took me, it was at a bar, a Irish pub bar or something in, I think it was in Seattle, if I'm not mistaken. Y'all can get with him and ask him about all that. Ask him where he took me to when we went and met his group of friends when we went to because we went to a thrift store too while we were out. And then there was another married couple. I never met them, but I heard him talk about them. And I know one of the girl, because they not their kids. The girl, me and him had some words one time because she was leaving. She was moving from Washington State and going somewhere. But him and her was at his house getting drunk. And like I felt some type of way about it. And so I said that to him. And he got very defensive and was like, my friend is leaving. I might not ever I don't know when I'm going to see my friend again. We're just going to chill, have some drinks and watch a movie. It sounded like a date to me. It sounded like him and his married friend was having sex. And I know, because my intuition would often say something was wrong, something was off of that. Why are you with one of your female friends that's married? Why is her husband even letting her out to chill with a nigga at their house and get drunk and watch a movie? That sound like a date. But anyway, and then it sound like some sex is going on afterwards. But so after I seen it, I was like, you know what, whatever. And I just got off the phone and let him do what the fuck he was going to do. But eventually, that's why the relationship didn't last. Me and him was only together like 2 months. He really, like, if I felt some type of way about something that he was doing, he would get very defensive. And he would defend his family and his friends over me. And that's something wrong that a lot of men do. They put the wrong people in different positions in the hierarchy when, dealing with a female. When you got a woman, you never, and this is just some advice, you never put anybody other than the kids and yourself before your wife or your girlfriend or your significant other. Like, you never do that. Like, the family that is supposed to come first, especially when it comes down to family. When it comes down to family, the family that matters the most to you should be the family that you're building, not the family that you came from. Because at the end of the day, the family that you came from might not agree with everything that you are doing in your family, but this is your family, and you are entitled to do what you want to do with your family. Okay. But I had another ex, Jarvis Baldwin, who would do that. Like, I would feel some type of way about some stuff that he would be doing with his family, and I would say stuff about it, and every time it would be, he would think that I was jealous of him and his family and their relationship. But no, I'm not jealous. Like, he was projecting. But I ain't really fuck with my family like that, and I'm okay with that. I don't fuck with my fake family no more anyway. The family that illegally adopted me, I don't fuck with them. And I have valid reasons for why I don't fuck with nobody over there. Like, not a soul over there I fuck with. Like, none of them. And because they all, jealous, envious, hate, but then they smile on your face. I'd rather be by myself and focus on my family that I'm building than be around motherfuckers who fake like me, fake love me. You feel me? So I'm good. I'm comfortable in my own space. Very comfortable in my own space. But yeah, I had it was a couple dudes that I dealt with that would, like, if I felt some type of way about something in regards to their family, like, it's not been one dude that I ever been with that wanted to focus on the family that we were building. Okay, so anybody that's looking at this, if you are, in a relationship, or got a significant other, wife, husband, whatever, for both roles, you never put your family over your family that you building in your house, ever. That's going to cause problem, because at the end of the day, you'll find out that family that you grew up with is not really your family. Like, they be jealous of your relationship. They be jealous of, how somebody might love you or might care for you, and then, you don't never, like, whatever you and your significant other talk about, that's between you and your significant other. Your mama ain't got to know, your sister, brother, cousin, none of them. Like, you don't value anybody outside of your family that you're building your relationship more than you value the people in your family and your relationship, because then you let those people know that you're supposed to be building this family. You let them know when you do things like that their opinions, their feelings, not opinions, because those are feelings. Their feelings don't matter. How they feel about something doesn't matter. And that's where you cause conflict. That's where breakups happen. That's where motherfuckers are afraid to tell you how they feel because they don't feel heard. All right. But this other friend group, now that was the one, ask him about that, who that friend is, who moved away, that he was fucking. All right. They came to his house that night. They had drinks and they was watching a movie. And they fucked, and then she went back home to her husband. All right, I don't know if her husband know or none of that, but I know that they was fucking. I think that he was fucking the other girl too, Sia. All right, they just too touchy feely. Like, there's no female, and like, this is where you need to know how to set boundaries. Like, he had no type of boundaries at all. Like, his friends could do whatever. They could be disrespectful. They could say what they want, do what they want, and then, oh, you just got to deal with it. But I was the type, like, nah, nigga, I ain't got to deal with shit. You got to deal with that. I'm going to go on over here and deal with myself, because ain't no man. And, I done been disrespected a lot. Like, I'm not getting ready to keep letting you disrespect me like that, and then I tell you how I feel about it, and then you disrespect me even more by not by trying to make me feel like my feelings aren't valid, like trying to make me feel like there's something wrong with me. No, nigga, you the problem. And so that's why I got rid of his ass. Nigga, get the fuck away from me. Shortest relationship I ever had in my life, 2 months, but with the most intense feelings. But anyway, this particular couple, I think the dude name was John, and the girl name, they call her Sia. Now, they had 2 little boys that he used to watch, like he would babysit them sometimes, the little boys. And then they live in a camper. Or at least they was living in a camper then. I don't know what's going on now because I ain't around or whatever. But they lived in a camper. Sia claimed to be herbalist, okay? And I think they were trained. But she claimed to be a herbalist. I think John used to be in the military. She claimed to be a herbalist. She had a business on Etsy. She used to make stuff like, hair oils and stuff like that. But, them white people, they don't have no power. Them fake ass motherfuckers, they don't have no power. Now, I'm going to say this again. I do not have nothing against Caucasians, but people who have went against me, it don't matter what race you is. But, I don't have nothing against Caucasians. I judge people based off their hearts, okay, their energy. I don't judge people based off the color of their skin. But this fake ass bitch, this fake ass herbalist, all right, she would talk about like she was foraging, learning how to collect herbs in the wild. I think that she was trained to do that so that she could try to connect with me, okay? Because this is when I was starting to get into my herbs and stuff. All right, this is when I was really tapping into my healing gifts, the gifts that I have from God and from my ancestors. And so she made like she was a witch. She made like she was a herbalist. She had a business on Etsy. I can't remember the name of it, but she used to Keith would have a lot of her products, and like he would be trying them. I really think that they was hexes that he didn't know, but none of her products ever worked for him. Like, none of them. And it's a lot of people out here like that just do stuff just for money. Like that they're not passionate about it. They don't have gifts to, it's not just putting the herbs together. It's, your magic behind putting those herbs. Like I have the gift of healing. All right, one of my missions is to heal the disease in the land, because anything is curable. Even the stuff that they say is not curable is curable, because I've cured things within myself that they told me were not incurable. Herpes, okay? They said it wasn't incurable, but here I am living herpes free. This is year 3 now, okay? And they giving me the recipe for the cure HIV as well, but I ain't had a chance to practice it on nobody, but they giving it to me. But so yeah, he will be using a lot of her stuff. Like she had some hair growth oil, and I made some hair growth oil, and so I was like, well, use this. You know what I'm saying? I made some. It's because he was like, well, see, you made me some, and I was like, well, is it working? No, obviously it's not working, because you still got a goddamn bald spot in your head. And so he was still using it, just people pleasing, trying to please his friend. He had a real bad case of people pleasing, and being stupid. But anyway, and I know it's from, it's from his childhood. It's like his family too. I never got to meet any of his family because, it didn't last that long. I was just there for what I was there for. And then, I was out. But Sia and John. So when I went to meet them, Sia touched him in a way like she rubbed his bald head and stuff. And women, intuitive woman like me, very intuitive, you catch on to the little slick shots that people throw. But I'm very mature, and so I don't react when motherfuckers throw shots. Like yesterday, I had a motherfucker like staring me down with envy and jealousy and hate, and I just act like the bitch won't even there. Like, you mad? Okay, stay in your mad energy. I'm over here happy, and I'm gonna stay happy. And so I let her do what the fuck she wanted to do, and as long as you don't touch me, we good. But you good as long as you don't touch me, cause I'm gonna be good regardless. But you still got to pay for them stares and that energy that you was trying to throw to my way, but it was just being blocked. But so she rubbed his head and stuff, and he just was smiling like, and I'm looking like, bitch, don't be touching my man, like, because that's me. Like, nigga, don't be putting your hands on my goddamn man, because I ain't jealous, but I don't want nobody touching, not no feet. I don't give a fuck how long y'all been friends. Don't be hugging him. Don't be touching him. Don't be doing none of that, because we y'all friends, but y'all gonna have to. It's a line between friends. And so I know that they had some type of conversation with my fake family, because there was an incident in high school where I flipped out when it was a girl that everybody knew we didn't like each other, but she wouldn't fight me. Jap Blue. And she liked my boyfriend, which was Brandon Walton, which was a football player from Lumberton, North Carolina, who had another girlfriend. He had two girlfriends, but everybody knew about it. Even I knew about it. And the other girl knew about it too. And he would entertain her. He would entertain me. He would talk to her on the phone, talk to me on the phone. But at the time, young and dumb and stuff, that was me. But like, she imitated what she did. So the girl, it was at a basketball game after I finished cheering and stuff. She came up to Brandon and she rubbed his head, and I flipped out. I was getting ready to whoop her ass. And then everybody that was around me took me down the bleachers and was like, nah, it ain't worth it. It ain't worth it. And he just sitting there laughing. He thought it was funny, which it was disrespectful for him to be sitting there laughing. I'm telling y'all, I come from a long line of niggas disrespecting me. That's why I don't tolerate disrespect. I'm not tolerating less than. I'm not tolerating nothing, no bullshit, because I've learned from experience. But she imitated that move, and I think that they thought that I was gonna have a reaction, but I just looked at her like. And I looked at him and his reaction, and I didn't have a reaction. I was just like, yeah, y'all a little bit too friendly. But she was a Caucasian girl. Her and John, I think his name is married. John and Keith, they used to go out and watch movies often. Like, they used to go hang out and watch movies often. All right. John was not happy with Sia. All right, Keith would tell me some things. He's not happy with her. But Keith would tell me stuff about that. And, I would just listen or whatever and give him advice to give him. But he's not happy with her. I don't know if they're still together. I don't know what's going on. But I know they raising the kids like animals. I know they take shits and pisses outside. They live like cavemen. For real. I don't know how they wash their ass, but she looked like she might stink. But she's not all that cute, and I think she had some colorful hair. But based off what he said, she's supposed to be a witch. She thinks she a witch. She ain't no real witch. And I know her husband ain't happy. All right, but yeah, they was a little too friendly. I think Keith was fucking some of his married friends. The women, I think he was fucking the women. They were just too, yeah, so it's stuff you don't do. Like, I had a male best friend before, but, we didn't do stuff like that. Now, when we went out to the club and stuff, we would dance together and stuff like that. And I will say that, but that was just fun. You know what I'm saying? After that, like, after the club, we wouldn't talk about nothing we did in the club. We had fun in the club. We'd dance together. He could dance, I could dance. We like dancing together sometimes. Every time we went to the club, we danced together. But, I never would disrespect you know, if he got a girlfriend, I wouldn't disrespect his girlfriend because I'm real big on respect myself. So, you know, we always give each other hugs, but it wouldn't be like, you know, like, no, you can feel the energy in a hug. You know, you can feel something sexual, something more than what it's supposed to be versus something, oh, that's just a friendly hug. You know what I'm saying? You can feel that. But, you know, it won't never like that. Like me and him, we got drunk one night. We had to stay at his house because I got too drunk to drive home. He wouldn't let me drive home. I wanted to drive home. He was like, nah, you going to just chill at the house tonight. So I stayed. And it was me and my fake sister and my fake cousin. And his cousin and him. And me and him slept in the bed together. But we didn't, like, you know, me and my best friend, Ross, I don't consider him my best friend no more because I ain't never had no real friends. I mean, he might have been the realest out of all of them, if you want to say that. He was cool and shit, but I don't know. We just grew apart, and he had another friend that was a dude that, you know, I don't like to share my friends. I'm jealous. I'm a little jealous when it comes to friends and my man. I am a little jealous because I don't want nobody touching my man. I don't want no other females around my man. You know what I'm saying? My best friend, I want it to be my best friend. You can't have no other best friend. You know what I'm saying? That's just me. But I'm okay with that. And if you ain't, then you can get the fuck on somewhere. But anyway, Ross was good. He was good. We ain't never had no falling outs or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? Anytime we talk, it's like we never left. He did do some shit a couple times, and that's why I don't fuck with him no more, because now I'm thinking in retrospect, like, damn, that was a shot. Like, he changed his number a couple times and didn't send me his number, and I had to get his number from somebody else. But I didn't realize it at the time, but now thinking about it in retrospect, like, damn, that nigga did have some fake shit in him too, so that's why I don't fuck with him. But out of all of them, he was the most real, but won't the most real, because why would you change your number and not give me your fucking number if I'm your best friend? You feel me? But it's taking me time to, you know, just realize who people were in my life. But I know I'm just going off, but I just got on here to tell y'all, the main one that I want to tell y'all about was Sia and John. I don't know if y'all got Keith Cleon Sammons, his phones tapped. I'm pretty sure y'all do. I'm pretty sure y'all linked in on his friend groups and everything. But he had a lot of married friends, and that's why I thought, you know, and then he portrayed too like he was until he all of a sudden started changing. And then I started noticing that he just didn't have no boundaries. Like, you couldn't say nothing about, you couldn't tell him his friends weren't real. And I'm the type, I can see through bullshit. You couldn't tell him his friends weren't real. All his friends was jealous of me. I never got to meet his family and them, but based off of how he was talking about him and stuff, they weren't doing nothing but using him. And then when I would say stuff to him about it, you know, he would feel some type of way. And, you know, I know what that is. I know that, you know, I know how that is, but I've just always been a realist. Like, even with my fake family members, if you do something fucked up, I don't care if it's to, you know, somebody I know. If I hear about it, you know, I'm gonna speak the real about it. Like, somebody was telling me something about my fake brother one time, and he was saying something about what he's doing. I was like, nah, he know he wrong for that. You know what I'm saying? But what I say to them, I can say to the person that I'm saying it about. And they know that. Like, ain't nothing I'm going to say to somebody that's telling me something about what you did to them that I can't say to you. You know what I'm saying? We ain't going to sit around and talk about them. But you can tell me about this situation, and I'm going to look at it from an unbiased position. And I'll speak about it in that light, because I'm never biased when, you know, I'm just real. I'm never biased. Like, I ain't taking no sides. Like, even when, like, they was fussing when Boss Man died, you know, two cousins that I liked at the time, Tasia and Crystal, you know what I'm saying, they didn't like each other, but I stayed out of their beef. And you can't talk to me about her, you can't talk to me about her. But then when this was going on, everybody was calling me Because I was always like the mediator. Everybody was calling me, this person did this and that person did that. And I'm just telling, well, y'all know y'all wrong. I'm telling everybody, y'all wrong. Like, why are y'all even arguing about some fucking money? This nigga dead. Fuck that goddamn money. Nigga dead. That mean that's all y'all care about. But I just let them know. You know what I'm saying? And they like, she get ready to taste. I know I'm not taking nobody's sides. I'm going to tell you what you did wrong, what you could have did better. You know what I'm saying? That's just me. I ain't taking no sides. If y'all got beef, that's between y'all. Ain't got shit to do with me. Y'all just know, don't come to me talking about this person, and you don't come to me talking about this person because I don't want to hear it because I fuck with both of y'all. That's just me. I always take a neutral position. Always unbiased. I'm always neutral because this shit ain't got nothing to do with me. That's between y'all. Y'all need to sit down and talk about it. That's, you know, I'm always the one, let's peace. Let's work it out. But, problem solving. I just got on here to tell y'all about some more of Keith Cleon Sammons, his friends. There were a few married friends, and it was only that one couple, the one that he got drunk with that night. I ain't never seen her. But my mind's eye has a visual of her, but I never seen her in person. But Sia, I seen her and John in person once, I believe. And then the other friend group, I seen the actual group we went out with them once, and then one day when me and Keith was hanging out together and we was at his house, we had just got back. His friends had called. It's like they didn't want him around me, because they didn't, but because if he was with me, he wasn't with them, and he wasn't doing what they wanted him to do. And so they had pulled up. This was the lavender marriage couple, the one that he said that they was married but they weren't sexual. And I thought that was strange, but they pulled up as soon as we pulled up, and they was trying to get him to go out and do something. And, you know, I was already there, and we already had plans. This was the one time that, you know, he chose me or chose us, and he was like, nah, we chilling, you know, our past. And I think that made them angry. And that's when, you know, when they seen how all of his friends, everybody he took me around, when they seen how in love we was, when they seen how he interacted with me when we were together, when they seen how, you know, we could get lost in each other, you know, when they seen how, like, he smiled, like how much he smiled when we were together, like you can see the love. They were jealous, okay? And so I say that to say this: you gotta be careful with your friends and your family when you're dealing with relationships. When it comes to love, you know, when it comes to somebody you really like, keep them out your business. Keep them out your business. And another thing I want to say is if people have a problem with you being happy, you know, if you're telling somebody that somebody makes you feel good, and this is another reason why you got to be careful with telling people how you feel about somebody in your business, because they be jealous. You know what I'm saying? Don't nobody want to hear how happy someone is and how good someone makes someone feel if they're not getting that in their relationship, okay? So you got to be careful with talking to people about what's going on in your personal life. Keep your personal life personal. If you got friends, y'all do your friend stuff. Don't say nothing about nothing going on in your personal life. And then too, if you got friends and family who have something negative to say about you and somebody, if you've already told them, if they got something negative to say about you and that person, and being happy, you know, you telling them about how happy you is, and they got something negative to say, and, you know, they trying to make you doubt that, you know, it's real and things like that, that's a red flag. And anybody that don't want to see you happy is not good for you. So you need to evaluate those circles and take yourself out of those circles where, you know, People don't value you. They don't really want to see you happy. People are using you. You know what I'm saying? You have to learn how to discern, and you have to really, with family and friends, it's hard to do it, but you know, if you keep practicing at it, you can do it. Take the love out of it and look at it, you know, as if you didn't love them. Look at them as if they're a nigga on the streets. And you know, pay attention to to what they say when you're talking about how happy you are. If they're not, oh, I'm so happy for you. If they're not happy for you and they're not showing it, you know, because people can say things and do another. Actions are key. You know, your words and your actions should match up. And this is how you should judge situations, people, places, and things, because people wear masks all the time. And, you know, you just got to be able to discern, you know, and not everybody has the gift of discernment, and not everybody has the gift of common sense either, but, you know, common sense ain't common, but that's why I said you got to take those love glasses off. When you take those love glasses off, you really get to see people for who they really are, and then you get to make a accurate assessment of, you know, if they have good intentions for you. All right. And this has turned into a goddamn a healing chat session. And this ain't even for this channel, but apparently there's people out here on this channel that need this too. Some words of encouragement. You know, I have the gift of uplifting people. You know, I am very wise. I do give great advice. I've always been that person that people come to for advice. You know, because they know that I'm gonna keep it real. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it, and I'm not gonna take sides. Like I'm not picking no side. Like if I gotta pick a side, it's my side, and my side is to keep it real, to be honest, and you know, to be, you know, as nice as possible when I'm saying it, but to get my message across. And if you don't like what I'm saying, I don't give a fuck how you feel about it, because I'm gonna tell you the truth. I'm gonna tell you the shit that you don't want to hear. That's what I promise. I'm gonna tell you the shit that you don't want to hear, and that ain't nobody else gonna tell you, because I'm the realest. Okay, but y'all make sure y'all like and subscribe. Turn on them notifications. Okay. But I just got on here to talk to y'all about his friend groups and some of the experiences I had with his friend groups. You know, when I start looking at everything for what it was, when I took those love glasses off, I began to see him, his friendships, and, you know, his family ships in a different way. Like even his brother, he was telling me about his brother wanted asked him could he use his military loan to buy a house, and I'm like, why would you do that? You might want to buy a house one day for you and your family. Like, that don't make sense. That just let me know they using him. They was using his family, use him. All right, his family uses him. And I don't know if he's realized this or not yet, but you know, I can see stuff like that. But you know, be careful how you say stuff to people who are not ready to see those parts, you know, of their family and friends, because they will turn against you when all you want is the best for them. Okay? But I'm gonna get up out of here, y'all.